Okay, this preparation. I mean, I don't know where you guys are going, but I'm just gonna jump into the preparation because of the trip again, and going to a great place, big indoor spot again. I'm hoping that last week helped us. We were challenged by the noise and the setting, and hopefully it'll help us. I don't remember many places that are louder than this place, and in my travels, and so hopefully that will help us get ready. We have a lot of respect for this team, the Saints, and we see them really tough on defense and with commitment and to the running game and all the stuff they do on offense. This is a very good challenge for us to see if we can go on the road and get something done. So excited about the opportunity, excited about coming back after last week and seeing if we can put it on the road and do it again.
When you guys are deciding whether to practice inside or outside, how much does the upcoming venue factor into that?
Sometimes it does. That decision is really a random kind of decision, depending on so many different things that happen. So, but it does,
Been talking about Geno's. I don't know what that was. We've been talking about Geno's play a lot, obviously, for him to get Player of the Week, get that recognition. Just cool.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful recognition for a great team effort, because Penny could have maybe been one too. Both those guys had great games. I don't know what happened around the league and all that, but the guys up front and the receivers coming through and everybody making their plays makes that happen. And I'm really excited for Geno. He's off to a fantastic start, but around here we don't talk about Geno.
You gonna sing it?
Huh?
Are you gonna sing it?
See, the guys with kids understand what that's all about. Those guys don't have a clue. Okay.
You played overseas a few years back in London. Could you have imagined coming back from that trip and then having to play the next week instead of having a bye?
Yeah, I can. As a matter of fact, I can imagine that. But I think it's an outstanding challenge. Just with all that goes on in a game like it was too. But we go back and forth almost that far sometimes, like we're doing it, so that might have been what some of the thinking was, send your opponent back and forth too a couple times and see how that works.
Is it realistic LJ could play Sunday? Or?
Yes, it's realistic. He's got to put together a great week. Generally, we would like to go a couple weeks, getting the guy back. He's been working really hard, and it's a elbow injury, so it's not his legs and all that. So he's in really good shape right now. So we got to see what happens though. See how the week goes.
High on Charles and Dave, or you wouldn't have drafted them, but to see what they've done in the first.
Yeah, I think that they're maxing out what we could have expected of them at this point. Playing all 4 games and doing their stuff and run and pass, and there was a lot of question marks about the running game, and they're really growing fast, and they're just marvelously, I can't say that, handling it. They're just really chilled and poised about it, and it's not too big for them. They're having fun, but they've been really respectful too about the whole challenge of it, and so this will be an enormous test this weekend. The 2 guys they got on their edge.
Hey Pete, Austin Blythe he's new to the team, and yet his ability to kind of acclimatize himself and be a leader on that offensive line, adding on to the 2 tackles. What can you say about his leadership?
It's really been obvious. It's both Andy and Shane, who knew Austin from their travels, said he was going to be able to take command of it and be in control and help guys around him and help the quarterback and all that. They were exactly on point. And to me, he's as big a surprise as anything that's happened. He's not just only done that, but he's blocked really well, and he's been effective, and he's made some terrific efforts downfield. Remember the fumble he recovered that Penny dropped on the ground, and all. So he's led in many ways, and he's a really proud dad today too, by the way. Did you guys know that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It was a big weekend.
What's impressed you about
Charles and Abe in pass protection, particularly in the moments they've been left on islands in obvious passing situations?
Well, Michael, they can handle it. They can do it. They're capable of doing it. And then they both have to continue to work on their technique and their footwork, so that you don't put yourself in bad positions. That's what so often happens to tackles. They get in a bad spot. They kick too far. They turn too soon. Let's try to eliminate those, those bad sets and all. But they can handle it, and so it's just, it's to project how well they'll be able to play someday down the road here, and hopefully it's this season and start and continue. But their future is so bright because of the great start that they're off to, and they have all of the potential to be really good. So.
At the NFL level, you don't see running backs score on long runs that often. Penny has, I think, 5 30-plus yard touchdowns last year plus. What is it? Just his speed, or what allows him to finish those long runs?
There's a real suddenness to him, and it's the power that he has. He runs right through tackles that normally guys have to even change course. He didn't have to change course half the time. When a guy reaches out and tries to get him, even whether it's the big guys or not, he just runs right through it, and it doesn't affect him. So he seems to maximize his opportunity to get to top speed, and you feel like when he busts it, it's gone, and you don't feel like anybody's going to get a shot at him, and he's proven that, I think we underestimate how powerful he is. He's 235 or 6 or something like that. There ain't very many running backs like that, and not very many that are that fast and that big. And so it's that combination really makes him hard to get down. And he just keeps, all of a sudden, he's just in the clear. It looks like there's nobody else on the field. So looks like when we used to recruit the old high school, the great running backs in high school, and there would be nobody on the film. The guy would break the line of scrimmage and be gone. There's some plays like that. He's just out there, and it's one guy or nobody, and it's been exciting to see.
With Blythe, before you signed him, did you realize the communication skills, or that's something you could have?
I was totally, what I'm saying, I was totally went on what Shane thought, and what, their experience and Andy, both those guys were just totally championing the thought. And they were, he's doing better than they ever even, build him to do. So pretty exciting.
Stats might not be there yet for Noah Fant, but what have been your impressions on his overall impact in the offense? Maybe the things that aren't noticeable on the box.
What's not noticeable is he's had a few plays that, for one reason or another, there's a penalty here or there. He's missed about 2 or 3 or maybe 4 plays that he's already converted. He's doing great. And I think he's a terrific weapon. We expect to see more, and use him more. It's early when you have 3 guys that you're working. It's early to start adding up numbers and all that, but he's going to be a huge factor. I think he's doing great, and he's blocking better than we probably anticipated.
What have you thought so far about Jason Myers and how he's been performing for you guys this year?
Shoot, I think he's off to a great start. The whole mechanism didn't work as smooth as it should have when the one that he missed, but he's hitting the ball great. We've moved the ball around on kickoffs too. We've done some different things there. He's done everything the way we hoped to. So I think he's having a great start this season.
With some of the pass rush stuff, with the numbers maybe not being what you guys would like, is that not having enough opportunities in the obvious situations, or is some of the execution on the guys' part?
Are you talking on what side of the ball?
On defense or pass rush, get into that.
Yeah. We're just going to improve at some stuff. It's the bulk of the plays are handled well. The bulk of the fits are handled well. We've been suspect about the explosive plays on us, and that they've been because of a misplay, a misread, or a missed tackle. And I just think that stuff's going to go away. I think we're going to get it done, and we're going to be cleaner and sharper and more consistent when we all feel where everybody is, and we'll max out the opportunities better than we are right now. So I'm really not pleased at all with where we are. We shouldn't be in this spot right now. We should be off to a better start than this. But you can see the potential, and so we have to just keep fighting it and making sure that we're on it, and just minimize the issues that have been popping up.
How you felt about how Mafe played on Sunday?
Excuse me 1 second. One more thing about that too. I think that there's one of the areas that we really need to improve on is we got to get rid of these penalties. We got 10 penalties on 3 guys, all in coverage, coverage issues, and we can fix those. Those are. It's not like you don't have to be faster or stronger, and you can fix those. I want those out of our game, and then let's take those 10 plays out of. Those are all, they turn into explosive plays that don't really show up in the stats and all that. I think that's a major area of focus for us to get better. I'm sorry.
Boye, he played a little bit more Sunday. What did you think about how he did?
He did well. He played very strong, and we're going to continue to play him, and he's going to get more plays probably this week. And so I really like that he's able to start to factor in already. I'm a little surprised that he's taken to it because, oh, shoot. Oh gosh. I know you're wondering how I'm doing that. Anyway. We're talking about Mafe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, next guy. I don't know, he's off to a great start, and so just want to see him keep growing.
The penalties that you're talking about, is that a matter of just learning where the line is?
That's part of it. Yeah, and it's being poised about the moment in the instant. Instead of I'm okay here. Oh shoot, I don't know if I am or not. It's just the uncertainty of it. Maybe that's what you're referring to. We can really clean those up, because there hasn't been a drastic one that we needed to do to survive the play at all. It hasn't been like that. So Michael had a couple rough ones down the sidelines against the Niners when he was just being physical and all, but. So it's a real point of emphasis, and I think it's going to have a major factor. If we play the next couple games and we don't have those, 5 or 6 more of those things in the secondary, we'll be in way better shape.
Are officials officiating it as you coach them, or is it emphasis changed?
No. Matter of fact, we've been very in tune because of the opportunities to talk about stuff. I've been very in tune with how they're calling stuff and how they're growing. Just a week ago, they sent out a video talking about pass interference that really sounded to me like they took a step forward in understanding a real subtle aspect of what's going on downfield. I was really impressed that they sent out the video and showed us 5 or 6 plays about something that the officials were showing us what wasn't pass interference, which was I thought that was really astute.
Has the league ever defined, Pete, the illegal contact calls on sacks with the quarterback has no chance to get rid of the ball, and they'll call it away from the ball. It's like a letter.
Yeah, they're pretty much calling if you've done something to hinder the guy, and they do look back to see what's going on, but they're calling what they see, kind of regardless of what's happened back there. They don't see something. Yeah, the guy got sacked and don't call it. They generally don't do that. They're calling what they see, and so that's what it seems like.
The grouping that you guys use on defense, it had like Jordan, and he's the only inside guy on there. It's like Kobe, and then the 5 linemen. I don't know what you guys call it, but did you get what you wanted to see out of that package that you guys used?
We're going to continue to grow with it. It's something we worked on all offseason and just didn't get much of in the first few games, but it's just something we like playing. It just gives us another variety of calls and stuff and configuration, with the guys out there. So we're still expanding that.
Does that particular personnel ask more of Kobe than just a normal nickel look?
It's really the front, because it's a 5-man look up front as opposed to a 4-man look, and that's more really about that and the variations that offers.
Could Ryan Neal kind of be a candidate to start at safety? I mean, like with Josh?
Ryan's going to play more. Yeah, he deserves to play more. He's doing well, and he's officially back. No, he's a little sore today, but he's officially back. I really like him on the field. And whenever he's played for us, he's always been active and been kind of in the midst of the action and all that. So he had a couple big plays down by the goal line, that got away that he could have won, that would have been really great wins for us. But he'll make those plays. He was close enough to do that. So I really like what he brings. So he will be playing involved more.
Is that coming at the expense of someone?
You'll have to see him. That's why I have all those configurations that we can explore.
The Saints, did they look much different with Dalton, the quarterback, as opposed to what they've been doing with Jameis?
Did the same stuff. They did basically the same stuff. He's an experienced guy. Got the ball out really well for him in this past game, and avoided getting hit. Did a nice job of that. So both these guys have the background to make the plays and call the stuff and put the guys in the right positions and all that. There's no change, I don't think, in their thinking. It didn't appear so in one game.
How proud are you of these guys? Certainly, I know it's early, and you said a minute ago the record could be even better, but I mean, the growth you've seen, especially the last couple of weeks, and defying what those outside expectations might have been, just how great has that been to see all that?
Well, if my expectations were low, then I would be, but my expectations are about as high as you can get them, so I don't feel like that. I really feel like we got to get it right, and we got to play up to what we're capable of playing. We have better football in us, and we have to eliminate the stuff that we're giving to the opponent by being penalized. And we had 11 again last week, and I think we had 8 on offense. So we can fix that. And imagine what that day would have been if we weren't backing up, part of the time. So these are really within our control. But there's a lot of young guys getting penalized, and that's the part of, to your question, them being poised in the moment and understanding what they can do and what they can't do and what the rules are really like. We keep pounding them with illustrations of that to make sure that they, we're doing everything we can to make them aware. So, okay.
You've watched the San Francisco Giants make a number of World Series runs. What are your thoughts on the Mariners starting a potential?
I think this is so exciting. I think we've been building it up, throughout the offseason and following them and all that. So they kick it off Friday night. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be great. We've been following Aaron Judge too. We've had a ball following him all, through this since about 50. So it's been fun watching him. So as much as the fellas are, I'm not sure the depth of interest. They're having to be interested in it because I keep putting it in front of them all the time. So, but the Mariners thing is going to be really fun. We'll be jacked up for them.
Sidney Jones got a chance to start on Sunday?
Sure he does. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, see you.